Hi, I'm Bowling Otter.
And I'm Lissy Sandwich.
And welcome to
the BS on the Internet. Hi, another week.
Another one of those weeks.
Another day, another dollar.
Lots of stuff to talk about this week. Lots of very
much.
interesting stuff. In fact, stuff that's kind of might affect us a little bit. So stay to the end of the video. We'll talk about that for a little bit. But before we get started, I know a really good way to earn cash and gift cards.
You do?
Like Amazon, Starbucks, like Target. That kind of gift card.
Oh my gosh.
You can take research surveys, shop online, play games, all that stuff, and get paid.
Swag bucks.
Checked it out myself. Looks pretty awesome, and they actually give you a $5 bonus just for signing up.
Swag bucks.
If you click the link in the description, you get that $5 bonus, and you help us.
Swag bucks.
So go click that link, and thank you, Swagbucks, for sponsoring this video.
Okay, so we asked you guys what was something you wanted to see on BS on the Internet this week, and undoubtedly, you said Yodeling Kid.
Yodeling Kid.
Who has been everywhere. 391,000. Look at his belt buckle. And he actually sang at Coachella.
Did he?
Yeah, and he's been remixed a zillion times.
I've heard some remixes.
Has he been
Look
on
at those
Ellen
boots.
yet?
I like this.
Look at his bow tie.
I guess like yodeling technique must have, shoulders must be a big part of it.
He's like...
Because he's like, certain notes he's doing this, you know?
Well, he's yodeling.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There must be like a diaphragm thing going on. It's not easy to do.
Why at Walmart? Like, let's get all dressed up in your bow tie and your cowboy boots and your big belt buckle, and let's just bring you on down to Walmart
and sing
Hank Williams.
Do you think they planned that? He was going to walk.
Hank Williams,
he's
right?
quite dressed up for the occasion, isn't he?
Oh my gosh. Have you seen the viral video of the boy yodeling? Have you seen it? Oh my gosh. His foot isn't like... Whenever he has to do it, he stops tapping.
He's got to think about that shoulder thing.
What's up with this lady?
He gets this really interesting facial expression. The kid's awesome. I think this is great.
I want to imagine him like singing outside some like girl's window.
Yeah, that would be way better than a Walmart hallway.
I know.
Or at least on a mountain somewhere.
What aisle is this? Right by the spill cleanup station.
This isn't indoors music, you know? We gotta be out there.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's really cute.
Okay, here's a big one, guys. Apparently Twitch right now, if you haven't heard about this, is blocked in Russia. Like, blocked. Like, any Twitch sites. And I don't think I'm not sure if it's universal. I think some people might have certain IP routes that may be getting around it. But I'm not 100% sure because I was seeing some messages trickle in after this broke that some people said they weren't getting blocked, but a lot of people said they were. And apparently, it's also blocking a lot of Amazon and Google-owned IPs. I mean, that would be why Twitch is, because Amazon owns Twitch.
Yeah.
But it's mostly, from what I understand, an effort to try to block a program called Telegram that they're using.
Okay.
In Russia, that's an encrypted, it's a message encryption program. So people can have chats, can chat like text with each other, but everything's encrypted so it can't be hacked, or it can be hacked but nobody can read what's there.
Yeah.
And the state is apparently going way out of their way to try to prevent this program from being used. They're saying it's being used for nefarious reasons, for like, for drug trafficking and stuff and all this other stuff. But in most cases, that usually ends up being kind of like, the kind of collateral damage that happens from you blocking it, like it's crazy.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
They're having trouble blocking it, and in an effort to block it, they also blocked all these Amazon, Google-owned IPs, which is a huge amount of IPs, because Amazon also has AWS, which is this giant web hosting service that tons of other sites and companies use. Yeah. So they're all cut off. So this is a pretty big deal. I'm curious if any of you are specifically impacted by it.
Yeah, I'd be really curious as well.
Yeah.
And even if you are from Russia or you're watching from Russia, if anybody if this is an issue, because this is affecting, if you think about it, people who are streaming on Twitch who live in Russia, who have like lost their livelihoods because of this.
Full-time Twitch
they
streamers,
just find out that like, oh my gosh,
I got
like,
no job right now.
I lost my job.
Yeah.
You know, is it indefinitely?
Nobody really knows. It just seems to have come out that like, whoa, suddenly I can't go to Twitch right now. Like they didn't make an announcement. They just did it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and people just started finding out. So crazy. That's a scary kind of situation. It really is. Especially when you mess with the internet like that. In this day and age, you can't do that. The world runs on the internet. Commerce runs on the internet. Communication runs on the internet. Everything runs on the internet. If you cut off the internet in any way, that's like closing major highways.
Yeah.
Like that. That's like trying to go down the turnpike and be like, well, I couldn't get down the turnpike. Can't get to my job today. It's basically the same thing now. And probably maybe even more extreme. So this is a crazy situation. It's really scary to me. And I hope we don't kind of see this sort of thing reflected elsewhere. And I really hope that this gets resolved quickly, especially for those of you who are watching from Russia. Hopefully still watching from Russia because Google owns YouTube.
Yes.
So hopefully that isn't the next one to go down.
Still here.
Yeah, hopefully you're still watching.
I think the last, I was just streaming right before this, and I think I saw a couple people from Russia popping in.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe it's not everybody, maybe something happened.
And, you know, we are
I don't
actually
know.
recording this on April 19th.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the time you guys are seeing this on Sunday, there's been a resolution.
Yeah.
If you know about that, please leave it in the comments. Or if you're personally affected by this, definitely leave it in the comments. And if you want to read more about it, check the link in the description.
Okay, it's time for the subreddit of the week. And this week is I Lick the Bread.
I lick the bread.
Yes. So you
Not
guys are going
familiar with this
all
one.
right, you're going to think I'm nuts for doing this, but so I stumbled across this. This is one of the lesser known subreddits that I would think. Not very many, 88,000.
Okay.
But
Find
I
a
mean,
diamond in the rough.
Yes, in the grand in the grand scheme of things, this is a very small subreddit. So what you do is you get a picture of your pet,
Okay.
and you write a little poem about your pet or your animal.
Okay.
As if it was coming out of the animal.
Okay.
Right. So in our last More BS video, actually, we wrote a little thing for Louis, kind of like in this like lingo language.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? So, for example, banana bed. My name is Pup, and when I tire, and you too slip, I must retire. I have no need for pillowed head. I lay on fruit, banana bed.
Oh my god!
Now, somebody mentioned it in a thread about something, and I was like,
I've seen these popping up in other comments and other subreddits.
Yeah, like
is that what
memes
this
and
is
things.
from?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've seen things like this on Twitter. I've seen them in memes.
Yeah.
Just in like this little, language or whatever you want to call it. And I just find it so funny. And I went through it one night and like lost my mind because it was just awesome. My name Eva. And as you see, I only got one ear on me. Yeah, I got hurt and life was hard. And maybe I still a little scarred. But don't be sad and has no fears. I better now can play, can hears. I happy Doug, love the whole world. I is not broken. I am good girl. Don't you love
Oh, jeez, yeah.
You know what I can't explain
That is kind
why.
of like a
I know, you're like,
and it's crazy because you know that
I
like
know.
we're making the connection that it came from the pet and it didn't. But it's still kind of like, I don't know, it's still doing something to you.
Yes, I know.
Put
I know.
small heck beast. Please put small heck beast. What is that?
Name's Eloise. I know you scared, cause I is huge. You should beware. I bork the cars. They run away. I grr at squirrels. They stop their play. I vicious monster. You best believe. You want the proof? I kill this leaf. See? It makes me all fuzzy. It makes me all warm and fuzzy.
This is good. I like this.
I know.
This is good.
There was one. Now, I will warn you, some of them are sad.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Because I know, so you have to be careful if you go through it, especially if you go to Best of All Time. If you noticed, I came over here and did Past Month.
Yeah.
Because Best of All Time, like some people, this top one.
Oh, I see there's an RIP
yeah,
there.
exactly.
Oh, so there's a warning.
Yeah, it'll be
Oh.
like, some of them are like,
man.
it's time to leave you now.
Oh.
You're my best human.
I'm not ready for that right
so
now.
you have to watch it. That's what I was going through. So
Okay.
keep that in mind if you go and look at some of this. But when they're good, they're really, really good. Some of them, I feel like you need to have a punchline, And also, if you have a picture of your animal and you could come up with one of these, put it to the subreddit or make a meme out of it and put it up.
Yeah.
Because I freaking love them.
Yeah, these are
You know
great.
what I mean? What is undercover pupper? Wow, hi, it's me. I in disguise. These are sunglasses, not real eyes. I rest them here upon my snoot, so no one knows what I'm about. Are you bamboos? Are you confused? Maybe not know whose face is whose. Oh, my suck. Where Mr. Doge? Away he went, but I his friend, I elephant. Oh my gosh, I love it, I love it, I love it. So go check it out. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at kind of leads into the next article that we're going to look at, because I came across this morning where there's this YouTuber, his name is Reset, and he's from Barcelona, and he's facing jail time for making a video, actually a series of videos, where in one of them, he forced a homeless man to eat Oreos filled with toothpaste. So what he did, and while joking that it would keep his teeth clean, because it was probably a long time since he's, had his teeth cleaned. You know what I mean? I thought this was just terrible because he scraped all the icing out of Oreos and put toothpaste in them and sandwiched them up and gave them to this homeless man who ate a number of them and then threw them up and got sick, and he didn't know if he had been poisoned. He didn't know, why this guy was out to get him. And then this YouTuber started to keep visiting him. So he says here, he's 20 years old. He's facing a charge of crime against moral integrity, which I find really interesting. Yeah, it's a Spanish law. So they're seeking 2 years in prison in order to pay 30,000 euros in compensation to the homeless man. So the man who here's him giving him the Oreos and putting it together, said he was ill. I got sick after 5 minutes and threw up. So he put it out. He put the video up, and then it says, Reset returned to see his victim the following day and made a further film. Asking him how the biscuits, cookies over here, had gone down, he said, people exaggerate over jokes in the street played on a beggar, when surely if it's done to a normal person, they wouldn't say anything. First off, what do you mean normal person?
Yeah, normal person. Come on, man.
Second off, do you think just it doesn't matter?
There's so much terrible about
Moot.
this. This is so ridiculous.
So then the controversy gets a little bit bigger on YouTube. So they go back to the guy again, the same homeless guy, with the intention of spending the night with him. And then a witness called the police and said, what did he want to do? Sleep with this guy on the street or spend the night?
That guy would probably be scared at this point of him. What else are you going to do to me now?
I'd be petrified. Yeah, you see him walking towards you.
Yeah,
it's
now
oh my God, now I want to spend the night with you.
What's going to happen now? Yeah.
So they said Reset had later deleted the video and offered the homeless man 300 euros for his silence in an attempt to reestablish his image and ingratiate himself with public opinion. So
That's
he
what the
knows
prosecutor
he knows he
said.
messed
Yeah,
up.
okay.
Yeah, of course. So he's on bail. And he said he had never been treated, the homeless guy says he's never been treated so badly on the street, adding that the bar where he vomited after the incident regularly helped him with food and clothes. I know.
It's just messed up.
And he had previously, the YouTuber had previously offered sandwiches filled with his cat's excrement to children and elderly people. So he put cat poop in sandwiches and tried to feed them to people.
To children and elderly people.
Yeah, specifically
what
children.
What is wrong with
the
this
most
guy?
vulnerable people. It's because they're the most vulnerable, and he thinks he could get away with it because they won't fight back.
How old is he?
20.
He's 20?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That is, you know what? That is infuriating.
This is ridiculous.
That is infuriating.
It's so ridiculous.
It was one of the first things that I read this morning, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
This guy can just F right off.
What the heck?
This is ridiculous.
But the interesting thing about it is that he earned more than 2,000 euros in advertising.
For the video.
It's
a popular video.
Yeah.
People like to see crap like this.
But ads are they're catching everybody else's.
Yeah.
Regular stuff, and then this gets through.
Yeah.
How did that slip through?
Yeah.
When there's so many of us who were just getting caught for nothing, or there's other people like Philly D who were just reporting the news.
Yeah.
Who were getting demonetized like crazy, and he's feeding toothpaste Oreos to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Horrible, horrible, horrible.
Okay, guys. Lastly, we want to talk about this one, which is potentially kind of major and could really affect us and a lot of other channels because here we have another situation where YouTube ran ads from hundreds of brands on extremist channels, a lot, including government ads. Look at this: Adidas, Amazon, Cisco, Facebook, Hershey, Hilton, LinkedIn, Mozilla, Netflix, Nordstrom, and Under Armour all basically Hall had ads run on channels that were like full channels that were promoting white nationalists, Nazis, pedophilia, conspiracy theories, and North Korean propaganda.
What?
So it's like,
I didn't read the article.
I mean,
I sent it his way, but I didn't have time to read it.
It's crazy. This is scary as hell, because the problem why I think it's scary, I mean, the weird thing about it, the reason why it's important that these companies are concerned that they ran ads on it, is not only that their brand is now too many people associated with the content. A lot of people know that this is just ads are just kind of randomly thrown in there, so they don't really associate the two. But a lot of people do associate them. But it's not only that, but then those channels are making that ad money. They're getting paid money from these companies to produce this content unknowingly, unwittingly. And also government ads ran. Apparently 5 U.S. government agencies such as the Department of Transportation and Centers for Disease Control. So that means tax dollars, U.S. tax dollars are paying for these channels too. So that becomes a really big issue. And when we're in a time when people don't like PewDiePie making a bad joke and ads flip out, you know, and like and anytime then you see some other pretty bad stuff, and then ads pull out. And now this happens. If this keeps happening, this is potentially really big deal, bad issue stuff here, because advertisers are going to keep pulling back and keep pulling back. So far, everybody that has pulled back and paused, you know, Under Armour apparently has put a pause already.
Yeah.
But apparently everyone so far that's paused has ultimately come back. And it's still a big deal that YouTube is still a massive, massive platform, biggest video sharing platform. So a lot of these ads are just hugely important to these companies. So it's going to take a lot for them to pull away.
Yeah.
But if this keeps happening, they're going to start to do that.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm sitting here waiting just, when I read an article like this. When I read an article like this, I'm so afraid to wake up and they're going to be like, okay, all ads are off until we figure this out.
Yep.
So then it'd be, tons of people would be like, okay, now we got no income until these ads are figured out. And I know that YouTube, like, there was a quote here from somebody here. Okay, here's so from a YouTube spokeswoman said, "We have partnered with our advertisers to make significant changes to how we approach monetization on YouTube with stricter policies, better controls, and greater transparency. When we find that ads mistakenly ran against content that doesn't comply with our policies, we immediately remove those ads. We know that even when videos meet our advertiser-friendly guidelines, not all videos will be appropriate for all brands, but we are committed to working with our advertisers and getting this right." But it says right here, however, the YouTube statement does not address why the issue keeps happening. The problem is that the issue is going to keep happening. I don't think this is something you can prevent. And it even says, we know that even when videos meet our advertiser-friendly guidelines, not all videos will be appropriate for all brands. So, I mean, one or two things are going to have to happen. Either YouTube is going to have to really start cracking down, really make it much more difficult to get monetized, much more difficult to monetize individual videos, and keep trying to filter out and try to make the algorithm more intelligent, or it's just going to have to be something ingrained in our culture that ads are going to be on terrible things, and the brands are just going to have to go in understanding that. Like, we're going to do everything we can, but we are not going to guarantee
how can you
that. And I feel like that's got to be where this is going to have to go that way. They're going to have to go to the brands and be like, hey, we will host your company,
make a decision,
but we cannot promise you. We're going to do this, show them all these bullet points of things we're going to be doing, but we cannot guarantee that something's not going to slip through the cracks.
Maybe they have to leave it up to the company and be like, you've got a decision to make. Either you advertise on here or not, and like you said, just put the bullet points up and say this is all we can do. But I think what bothers me the most about it is that YouTube isn't being transparent at all about this process.
No, that's going to have to start happening.
And because we don't know what's going on, like we'll have a video flagged demonetized, and we don't know, and we'll like appeal it, and we don't know if we're like talking to a person? Are we talking to a robot? Like, who
apparently
are we
when you appeal it, that is a manual review.
That
they have
is
a person
manual
go.
review.
Yes, when you appeal it, it's a manual review. And to YouTube's credit, we did get a community guideline strike a couple weeks ago that we got rid of. We were able to appeal and get rid of it. But interestingly enough, that guideline strike happened, and it specified that the strike was through manual review. So somebody looked at that review and said, nope, this is bad, and checked it. We went back and like, I don't think so. And then somebody else came and be like, you're right, this isn't bad. So they do at least tell you if it's been reviewed by an algorithm or a person now.
Okay.
But to your point, They still don't tell us exactly what they're looking for and what they're filtering by.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22 because if they do, that just enables more people to skirt around it.
Sure.
If you know, so you can't really show all your cards. But at the same time, you know that companies like Adidas and Amazon and Cisco are getting the full breakdown of exactly how this works.
Right.
So that they can assure them. Be like,
For
no,
sure.
our algorithm does this. I'm sure they have to sign an NDA before they tell them.
Oh, yeah.
But they're telling them. So they're going to have to start becoming more transparent, I think, here. Especially if they do end up cracking down and more people lose their income over this. Because, at least from a gaming perspective, more people are just going to keep going to Twitch. But there's a lot of other content on YouTube that has nothing to do with gaming, doesn't belong on Twitch, really has no other place to go.
And they're hurting.
Like Philly
They
D.
really are.
That's
horrible.
He put up a video recently that
news.
said that he basically already officially came to the full conclusion that he can't consider YouTube the permanent home for him going forward. He's got to leave.
Yeah.
Which is crazy and terrible because he's been here for how long? But that's going to happen more and more.
It
and
is.
this stuff, every time I see this happen, I just cringe. It's like, no, this is going to be it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping.
I'm really waiting for the ball to drop.
Yeah. It's
and
scary. It's very scary right
them,
now.
Yeah, but like you said, you can't. There's so many. I think I remember, and I don't remember what it was, but I remember reading somewhere like the number of videos that go up on YouTube, like in a 24-hour period, in a day, and it's
a huge number.
It's unbelievable.
A lot of zeros.
Yeah. I think it's in like the hundreds of thousands. But I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But it was way higher than I ever thought. But there's, they're in a really, really tight spot, and I would have liked some more transparency with them, so that we don't know, so that we know what we're doing, like what to not do. Like we're just doing we're just doing our thing, and then we're getting stuck. And luckily, I mean, some people have it really, really bad. Like we said with Philly D and everything. Some people really, their videos, channel revolves around it.
Almost every one of our videos, when it gets posted, is immediately not either demonetized or limited monetization. Again, we don't know if it's fully demonetized or only limited. It says limited or no ads. That's the thing. It doesn't specify. And it happens every time. And it sucks because it happens throughout that first initial flood of views he gets. So none of those are monetized. But every single one of our videos after that has gotten that back. I think there's been very few exceptions, some pretty old videos. So we really haven't been hit that hard. It hasn't been lasting impact. It has definitely affected bottom line. But we're still here. It did kind of chase us a little bit to Twitch for some of our content, but we're not going away from YouTube, certainly for the rest of our content.
No, we started another channel.
We started another channel. We'll clearly still have a foothold in this, and fortunately our content isn't anything we really have to be worried about this getting too close to. So we're fortunate in that regard. But again, with the transparency thing, it's such a catch-22. Because if they are more transparent with it, trolls are going to get better at skirting it. And the only thing helping them is the fact that they don't know what they're fighting against. That's what helps them keep the trolls out. But it also keeps out the good guys. So I don't know how you get around it.
Why not focus more on the content creators than the advertisers? Like, why not? I mean, I understand they have to make money. I do. That's probably what it comes down to. But I'm thinking, like, for me, like the propaganda accounts should be like no-brainers.
Well, but then you have to really worry about
like the extremists and
it's
like
a free speech situation at this
point.
It is a free
because
I know that they are private organizations. It's not a government organization, so it's not technically a free speech situation. But they're so big that it does have impact on that. It has impact on politics, has impact on culture as a whole, and they have to be really careful about it. And so it does. Is this little gray area there?
Because this is some scary stuff. White nationalists, Nazi pedophilia. Conspiracy theories, they'll always be around. North Korean propaganda, like,
I mean, as far as YouTube trying to
scary.
solve for this, what I'm hoping they take an approach to is possibly, it would have to be kind of rigorous, but work on actually whitelisting and greenlighting entire channels. Or at least moving them into a section where, like, you're going to have to really do something bad for us to really start scrutinizing you and hit you, because you've proven yourself over a year of, like, constantly good stuff.
And then you saying you're all right.
Like, if you go, it could be pretty stringent. Maybe you have to do a solid year of posting no problem.
Oh, totally.
But there's plenty of channels that are many years old that would benefit from that kind of attention mentioned
gosh,
greatly.
yes. Yeah.
So we hope that's the way it goes. We'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, what do you guys
maybe
think
when this
about
video
this?
goes up, there's been more fallout from this. I'd be curious what you guys think of it.
Yes, please. I'm
So
very curious.
leave your comments in the description. And if you want to see anything else, more about anything else we talked about, links in the description, everything.
Of course.
And if you like this video,
Yeah.
please support us on Patreon. Click like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Going to be
I'm
the next.
so
That was going to be
mad.
Silent Hills.
It was going to be amazing.
It was going to be Silent Hills.
It'd be incredible.
I'm still mad
That's,
about that.
I think,
Don't
one
trust
of,
anyone.
if not the biggest disappointment for me.
Yeah.
It
it's-
was The Last Guardian. Was
Oh.
a really sore spot for me, but now we got The Last Guardian.
Last Guardian actually happened.
Yeah. So now, maybe someday,